Alright, 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 alright. Waiting for it to go live on my end. Alright. I'm waiting for it to lock in so I know we're live. Because we should be live now, but my phone is derping. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, there we go. There it is. Alright, we got a new Amid the Ruins track, so here we're gonna start off the intro song a little differently with the Amid the Ruins track. What's up, Slow Boy? Welcome, welcome. We're gonna be bopping the new Amid the Ruins track. I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace.
Message to all the Chad nerds requesting access. Access granted. Attention to all Chad nerds. This is not a drill. Get prepared. Chad nerds, we are noticing a vast number of gobbledygook slowboy soy ships approaching the mother base. Be vigilant. I'm out.
Yeah, we can roll it. We can roll it. We're keeping it rolling. All right. That is Amid the Ruins, 1453. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Expose the Powerful Lies. Coming at you live. Night stream, porch stream, chilling up here on the icy cold porch here in Buffalo, New York. Thank y'all so much for being here. Amid the Ruins, 1453. OG Chad nerd, techno musician from the olden days. He just dropped this new little LP, EP, YouTube album. So go and give him some support, show him some love. And my light just went out. Doing the strobe light. Hang on. I got the light set up on like such a bad outlet that if I kick it, it goes out. Welcome, welcome. Got the new haircut. Y'all clutching your pearls because we're listening to techno music, dude. Oh my goodness, that's not Christian. Techno music is not Orthodox. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when you go into an Orthodox church for liturgy, there is no strobe lights and there is no techno music. So, you know, I probably should be excommunicated for subjecting you guys to that. So please forgive me. Today's show is called, what's it called? Examine Yourselves. Is it okay to judge each other? On the internet, we're going to be talking about the sort of drama, a little bit of drama on the Orthosphere, a little bit of drama on the Christian internet. We're going to talk about the sort of common thing. I mean, this was really what our last video was about. We talked about, you know, all these people pearl clutching about just that very thing, techno music and meme culture, and, you know, oh my goodness, these ortho bros are so mean. But today I was on Instagram, and I saw one of our homies had posted a nice little collect. Oh my goodness, there it goes again. A nice little collection of memes with church fathers quotes. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta set this up and then not kick it. All about like cussing and swearing, and it was a really good post. And I needed to read that because y'all know me. Bad. I got a bad mouth, bad language. I swore like a sailor all of my life, and it really wasn't until like last year that I actively tried to stop swearing. You know, I was like, I should probably try not to do that. And, you know, I went through all of the stages of grief or whatever about denial and like, no, it's fine. It's okay. I can swear. It's not a big deal. And then like, you know, all of that. So lick the plug before you plug it in. Slow boy, you're not going to get me with that one again, okay? You got me with that one last time. All right, first you tell me to stick a fork in the outlet, and I tried that, and that didn't work, and now you're telling me to frickin' lick it. Not cool, dude. I'm the one supposed to be powerful lying to you. But anyways, what was I saying? You know, I've been Orthodox now 6 years, give or take, you know, maybe closer to 7. But the point is I've been in the church for a while. And it wasn't until like a year ago that I like seriously started to address that one little thing about my behavior, right? And so this is a common thing for Americans, especially young men, people in Western society. You know, we have all of these bad habits that we've accrued over our lifetime. And you enter the church and it doesn't just all go away all at once. It takes time. It takes living the sacramental life. It takes taking the medicine of the sacraments before you start to see some healing and you start to see some changes and you start to see, you know, different things change in your life. Now, obviously, it didn't take 6, 7 years to see any change at all. I mean, from the moment that I entered the church, I started growing and I started changing. But that one specific thing about swearing, I didn't really consciously think about or address until pretty recently. And so there's this danger that anybody can get into, whether you're a Christian or not, but especially on the internet, especially with, you know, public personalities making videos, doing content, doing debates, doing lectures, whatever it is. You know, you put yourself out there and you expose yourself, you make yourself vulnerable to the public, and then people naturally want to critique. That's just what we all do. I mean, honestly, guys, I'm probably going to be a hypocrite. This entire video is me critiquing people on the internet. So I am aware of the irony. I am aware of the implicit irony. Yes, heroin is a bad habit. That's very true. Very true. Um, and seriously, proud of you, bro. For real. Um, we got to congratulate each other on our victories. And thank God, man. Thank God, because He can rescue us from the darkest depths and the darkest pits imaginable. So glory to God. And glory to God for you, man, being a living example of repentance and of the healing energies of Christ. But, sorry, I got a little off topic there. The point is that we change and we grow over time. And then when you have these public figures online, even if the audience is completely good faith, sincere, coming from a good place, right, and is actually trying to help, you can get a lot of these sort of pearl clutching critique mobs, or as I say in the thumbnail here, purity spiraling, concern trolling, pearl clutching. All of these sort of bad behaviors can end up manifesting in the audience. Not even talking about people like me or people, anybody who's an Orthodox Christian on the internet. That has its own set of temptations and sins and problems that we will address and we will talk about. And there's certainly valid things that we need to be aware of and we need to examine ourselves, right? And we need to actually try our best to be good representatives of the faith. I saw a great quote from Saint Seraphim Rose of Platina. Sorry, Blessed Saint Seraphim. While we stick with it, Blessed Saint Seraphim, we'll make a compromise. I believe he's a saint, but we'll compromise. We'll say Blessed Saint Seraphim. We'll do both of them. I saw a great quote from him about this very subject. Let me pull it up on my phone. I didn't prepare it to share it on the screen, so I'll just read you guys the quote. I have it screenshotted here somewhere. Yeah, Punks and Monks shared this. It says, "Bound up with this is a disease of today's Orthodox Christians which can be deadly, the correctness disease. In a way, this is a natural temptation to anyone who has just awakened to Christian faith and to spiritual life. The more one finds out about Christian doctrine and practice, the more one discovers how many mistakes one has been making up till now, and one's natural desire is to then be correct. This is praiseworthy, although in the beginning one is probably going to be too artificially strict and make many new mistakes out of pride, to which we are constantly blind. If you are critical of others, self-confident about your own correctness, eager to quote canons to prove someone else is wrong, constantly knowing better than others, you have the germs of the correctness disease. These are signs of immaturity in spiritual life, and often one outgrows them if one is living a normal spiritual life." So I thought that was an amazing quote. There was another quote from Seraphim Rose I didn't screenshot that hit me like a truck the other day. I was just like scrolling on Instagram and it was like, oh, I love that. I love that about the saints, is that literally just like some words they spoke, can be so powerful even today. But how many of us have seen this very thing that he's referring to here, this correctness disease? How many of us have actually participated in this disease? I know I have. We see it all the time. We see it in fasting when new converts, enter the church. They can end up being so strict in their own fast that they end up hurting themselves, and what it really is it's pride. It's not actually going to be fruitful at all. You're sort of prideful and thinking like, no, I can do this on my own, right? Which is why we have the traditions that we have, which are strict, which are like, you need to fast with your priest, you need to be honest, you need to tell the situation, and then when he gives you an obedience to follow it, right? Moldy, he says, "I'm just here to correct y'all." Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I don't need correction. I need judgment. So please just judge. In fact, why don't we, from 1 to 10, everybody gets a rating. You could judge them like that. Let's just totally objectify the audience. But we see this all the time, and there's another aspect to this when we're talking about big-time figures like Jay. But even specifically, what compelled me to do this video is our friends Andy and Rachel, because they have sort of rocketed in fame and in notoriety and in recognition lately over the last couple of years, just boom, like a rocket up into the sky. And so naturally, you're getting a lot of the same sort of judgment that we've seen Jay and Ananias and all of our beloved big figures in the Orthosphere endure over the years. We're seeing that sort of crystallized in these people who are receiving such, a large number of eyeballs on their content. And so today, basically, I was on an Instagram post, and somebody was sharing these quotes from the church fathers and from saints about cussing and about how we shouldn't do it, right? And I really liked that post. And then the very first comment was somebody talking about Andy, and they go, "Oh, somebody needs to tell this to Andy. Somebody needs to tell this to him." And I screenshot it. I'm not going to be sharing names, right? We're not trying to put anybody on blast. But he said, someone definitely needs to tell this to Andrew Wilson, although he'll probably just tell you that you're tone policing him. Yeah, Jason, you smoke? Thank you for reminding me. Right. So, obviously, it's like, come on, dude. Like, come on. People want to just, like, call people out, like, out of nowhere. Yo, Jethro, what's going on, homeboy? Good to see you. And if I forgot to, let me shout out all the homies in the chat. We got Slow Boy Whiteboard up in the house. Let me lullaby you to sleep, Slow Boy. Jason Scholl, welcome, brother. Stephen Mulroney, what's up, homeboy? Mojo, Matsy, Clontarf. Where's Crispy Johnson, dude? I don't see him in here. He's gonna get a couple of points subtracted. Christopher, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Nubs Raw. So yeah, so instantly this guy sort of comes out against Andy. And what I'll say is that, you can make these critiques, and I'm not really talking about whether or not the critiques are valid or not, right? Because the post is about cussing, and I guess Andy cusses. I don't know. I haven't been following him very closely lately. I just basically, when something pops up on the YouTube feed, if it's something I'm interested in, I'll click on it and watch it. So I haven't been like following any of our homies really very closely lately. Been busy with stuff. But, obviously me and Andy have done a bunch of shows together and stuff, and I've spoken with him a lot. I swear, he swears, it's common. I smoke, he smokes, right? We have these sort of vices that are readily apparent and that anybody can point out and say, that's bad. Now, it would be one thing if we were coming out and saying, like, you should swear, it's good. Promoting it, right? You should smoke. It's like the coolest thing ever, dude. Hey, you want to be cool? Hand out cigarettes at the playground. That's how you get cool, dude. But it's a whole other thing when you're doing the kind of work that our friends are doing, where they are literally on the front lines in the internet debate sphere, where they are going head to head with really demonic and evil worldviews and ideologies, whether that's secular atheism, whether that's Islam, which is like a direct threat to us here in America and in Europe. They're on the front lines. They are efficient and effective at what they do, and they're in the church, right? And this is the main thing, is that basically what I told this guy, and I guess I can read the quick sort of back and forth we had. Yeah, let me do that before I go getting ahead of myself. So all I said was, hey, maybe you should be more concerned with, yourself rather than some strangers on the internet, but, that's just a suggestion. And then he said, well, I'm concerned about somebody that represents orthodoxy on the global scale like Andy does, going on a lot of talk shows and interviews. The reason why I'm reading this is not, like I said, to put anybody on blast. If this person happens to be watching, no offense to you. I thought that this was a good conversation we had, a good back and forth. And so, again, not putting this out there to put you on blast, just trying to basically use this as a springboard to talk about this subject. Jason, yeah, that's what I do, dude. That's my go-to thing. I'm not suggesting you guys do it. I'm just strongly implying that you should think about it. You know what I mean? Like, just think about it a little bit. It's worth it. So I rebutted and I said, Andrew does not represent orthodoxy. This is the same thing that I've said about myself since the beginning. Yeah, okay, I'm an Orthodox Christian, and so yes, when I go anywhere and talk to anyone, there is a element of me representing orthodoxy. In the best possible scenario, that is what we want. We want to attain theosis. We want to attain illumination. And we certainly want to repent of our sins so that when we go anywhere, we're bringing Christ along with us. And in that most basic sense, then yes, an Orthodox Christian does represent orthodoxy in the optimum. Then you could take it a step further and say, well, if he's debating, right, then he is representing orthodoxy. If he's saying, I'm a debater, I am representing the Orthodox Christian position, and I'm up against X, Y, or Z, okay, that's fine. So I guess there is some truth to that, is what I'm saying. But my whole thing is that you're not representing orthodoxy. You're an Orthodox Christian, and if you're sincere and you're for real, you're gonna just be who you are, and your flaws own them, and not be insincere, fake, and try to construct this sort of visage of purity and piety when it isn't there. Because the faith is true. Christianity is true. We don't have to lie. We don't have to be fake. We don't have to put on a facade. I can stand here in my imperfection and say, I'm imperfect, but I'm at the hospital receiving the treatment for my imperfections. And what's very important is that I have ecclesiological oversight, which is serving as a guardrail for me in whatever I'm doing, right? And so the fact is like, if we want to talk about any of these content creators out there who are Orthodox Christian, the number one question is, are they in the church? Do they actually attend a church? Do they actually have a confessor? Do they have a spiritual father? Do they have a godfather? Do they have a bishop that they are obedient under? That's really what's important to address. And so again, I'll carry on with this. This is real quick. I said Andrew doesn't represent orthodoxy. He was a content creator before he was Orthodox, right? Just like I was. I was making YouTube before I was Orthodox. Now, had that gone a different way, I probably wouldn't have started a channel, right? Because it's like, okay, I've been in the church one day. I'm not going to go out there and start making content about Christianity or about orthodoxy. But because I was already doing YouTube, and I was already doing YouTube about my life and my struggling for truth and and all the different things I was into, naturally I was talking about these things that I was learning and why I was interested in Christianity. And then as it went on, more and more, I got more and more into it, became more and more Christian, and the channel just naturally sort of came along with it. Same thing with Andy. Andy wasn't Orthodox Christian when he started. He was doing debates, he was doing content. I don't know exactly when it all happened, but one second. But I remember when we first sort of all, when Andy sort of arrived on the scene, it seemed like he was just entering, and I know they recently got baptized. So I said he was a content creator before he was Orthodox. I've known him since his conversion, and both he and his wife are sincere believers. They attend church regularly and are under an obedience to their priest and bishop. I said, where are we? Okay. When people first convert and are new converts, they have a lot of bad habits which they grow out of as long as they are A, sincere, and B, actually living the sacramental life. It is the responsibility of their priest to correct them when they see fit. We don't just all pile up a long list of every single imperfection a person has and then just dump it on them all at once, right? I said that's why the pastoral care falls on the priest for each individual. Right? Because if I meet you on the street and I see that you swear a lot, you smoke, you're visibly drunk, okay? You seem like you're on cocaine or something. You have 3 women stand. Like, obviously I'm using extreme examples, but what I'm saying is if I see a list of vices and flaws and sins in you, because maybe I'm 2 rungs up the ladder ahead of you, I'm not just going to list it all to you and correct you, to your face right then and there. Here's a long list of everything you're doing wrong, fix it. And no priest is going to do that either. No priest is going to go to a person and say, welcome to Orthodoxy, here's my list of everything that you're doing wrong, come back when it's fixed. The pastoral care of a priest with their spiritual children is that in time and when the priest sees fit, they correct the people and they say, hey, now try this, now try this, now try this, right? It's like it's medicine, and it's a practice, and it's something that is worked out. Our salvation is worked out through much effort and turmoil. Now that doesn't mean that, if your buddies in the church, is struggling with something, and if it's like, you use your discernment, right? I mean, if you have like a kind thing to say that you think can help them, well, okay, that's on you, man. That's between you, God, and them. Like, but the way that it's been told to me is like, if somebody is like in church and they cross themselves the wrong way, like you got to kind of ask yourself, like, if I go up to them and say, hey, do it this way, right? I might make them feel weird. I might, put them off, like leave it to the priest. And there's other things we could talk about that are a little bit more controversial, right? We could talk about like veiling in the church. I was just talking to somebody over an email, and they told me that their friend is this woman at her parish, and she's the only woman that wears a veil in the entire parish. And I mean, that blew me away. I'm like, what? Like, how is that even a thing? Like, where does that come from, right? And of course, my godfather, Reader Paul, Bottom of the Rabbit Hole, did a great video all about veiling and about that tradition, how important it is, and how it is sort of a very controversial thing even within the church today, which is insane to me. But again, a woman comes into church. If I just, on my own, as a layman, just approach them and be like, excuse me, actually, that's wrong, and like okay, they might never come back again. It's not up to us to crack down on each other, and it really does require discernment. And if you don't have that discernment, then maybe you should, stay silent. Again, this is just me sharing my opinion, right? And I'm not a priest, so this is not trying to give advice to people. This is just trying to comment on this thing because hopefully it's valuable, okay? But like I said, there is some intrinsic hypocrisy, I guess, in me doing this video. And I even have a direct hypocrisy. I do have a video we're going to pull up for some laughs because, okay, you guys will get it when you see it, all right? We'll judge a little bit, all right? We're going to have a little judging at the end, right? Moldy says, done driving. Finally, who we judging, bro? Here, I'll give you a sneak peek of who we're judging because we are going to be judging somebody. Not really, guys. We're not judging, but I am gonna be showing you some cringe. All right, look at it. We got a Nazi guy here, and that's all you guys get to see for right now. We're gonna be watching that later. This is making me laugh just think about it. All right. So, anyways, I said, obviously it's up to the priest to correct them. I said we should be far more concerned with content creators who are insincere rather than pearl clutching because someone isn't as polished as you would like them to be. At any rate, while you are certainly entitled to your opinion, it is concerning to me when the correctness police purity spiral over new converts' rough edges. Andy is not promoting heresy. He's not promoting schismatic churches or beliefs. He is doing good work under ecclesiological oversight, and if you have a suggestion for him, I suggest contacting him directly rather than engaging in what could be construed as gossip or, God forbid, slander. And so after I did that, I think he deleted his message. I can't find it anymore, so glory to God. Hopefully, that was taken friendly and I didn't come off as a jerk. But that's what made me want to do this video, was to sort of share that message and remember that, at the end of the day, like, we can point to this guy or that guy with their YouTube channel and be like, well, he's not doing this exactly right. But the real question to me is, like, is he in the church? Because if he's in the church and he's confessing to a priest and he has a bishop, it's fair to assume that the priest is aware of the content, right? And that if they go off the rails, that the priest or the bishop are going to find out about it and deal with it. Now, we've shared over and over and over again that anybody doing this kind of work, and certainly anybody doing like debates, theology lectures, things like that, like if you are not a priest, if you are not a deacon, then you should have a blessing to do it. You should go to your priest, tell him what you're doing, and get a blessing to do it. And then also ask for obediences and ask for oversight so that, you sort of have that safeguard, because it is very easy to go off the edge, and it is very easy to stick your foot in your mouth, right? Slow boy. I drive a bare minimum of 2 hours a day, 3 or 4 on my days off work. That's insane, dude. That's insane. My job, I drive a lot, but it's driving for work. It's not driving to or from work. But I certainly don't miss the long days of taking the bus. Back when I worked 2 jobs, I worked full-time at a bakery, and then I worked full-time at a restaurant, and I had to take like 2 hours worth of busing in between, back and forth, and then I had to walk a mile. So I did that for like 9 months, and then I was dead. I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. I mean, it was literally 17 hours of just nothing but work, you know. Ugh. Anyways, so hopefully you guys are getting where I'm coming from here. But the other thing to bring up also is that everything we just said is about assuming that the person who's offering the critique is sincere and is like coming from a good place. But I'm sure you guys have noticed that there is this swamp, this quagmire on the internet of people with that spurned lover energy, that spurned lover vibe, that just despise Jay Dyer or despise, you know, that's the main one. That one pops up a lot. But pretty much, you know, Andy too. People who hate these people. And anytime anything, you know, happens or anything is said that they can latch onto to attack, like they do. And I see this on X all the time. I really don't want to bring up names, but there was this guy. We actually did a show with him at one point about a year and a half ago, and he sort of flew off the deep end, I guess. I mean, when we did the show, I didn't even really know who he was. He just was around, and I was looking for people to do interviews with, and so we did a little interview together. And, you know, because of the sort of odd vibes I got, we never really talked after that or did anything else. And then naturally he's sort of flying off the handle, and he's got his own problems and stuff. Hopefully his stuff gets sorted out. But he recently was very publicly sort of attacking Jay. And then when I clicked on it and was looking at the comments, it was just like all these people insulting Jay, attacking Jay. Oh, I can't, but he's such a... And they were like Orthodox Christians doing that, you know. And then a lot of Roman Catholics and a lot of randos. So there is this environment that's there waiting and ready to attack and to jump. And so that needs to be taken into account too when we're talking about these critiques that you will see of whoever it is in this YouTube sphere. You know, this critique is valid, or this critique is coming from these spurned lovers who are just so mad at the guy who, you know, made them look stupid on a Twitter debate or something. And now they want to, they're just waiting for the day that they get taken down, that their bishop cracks down on them or something. And there's even, as we've seen happen many times, people who will write bishops and who will write, you know, hierarchs and who will try to get you attacked, which, again, one of the reasons why you probably don't want to start a YouTube channel. And if you do, you want to have a very close relationship with your priest and your bishop, you know. So that way, when the randos start to do their doxing or start to do their harassing, they're like, oh no, that's Seraphim. I know him. You know, he ain't like that. He might be radical. He might be handing out cigarettes to kids on the playground, but he's not like that. You know, he's not. He would never call someone a jerk on the internet. Is it the guy that used to stream for hours in the middle of the night acting schizo? I mean, this guy did act schizo. I don't follow people very closely, so he might have done that. He probably did. I have no idea. But this guy doesn't act schizo. He's a confirmed schizo. He actually is on medication and stuff. Which, again, no hate. God bless him. I really do hope he, you know, figures this stuff out. I'm not attacking him at all. I'm not even really talking about him. I'm talking about the people that when he made these posts, clearly he was upset. He was hurt. He was making sort of posts talking, I don't want to say talking smack. He's just, you know, talking negatively about Jay or whatever. All the people come out the woodwork. All the people come out the woodwork and start, you know, yeah, he is. I can't believe he would do that. Puh. Jay Dyer, he's so bad. It's like, dude. This is not what it's about, man. It's not about finding personalities that you agree with and like, oh, they could be my friend, and develop some like parasocial relationship, like, oh, I like Jay because in real life we'd be friends, but I don't like this guy, even though he's an Orthodox Christian and even though he's promoting the church. I don't like him because I don't think I would like to hang out with him, and so he's bad, but Jay's good, or vice versa. It's not about that, dude. It's about, you should be happy to see Orthodoxy growing. You should be happy to see when we have people out there who are good at what they do and can explicate the faith to converts, to heterodox, to anybody. That's a good thing, and we should be happy about that. We shouldn't be infighting, and we should certainly not be sort of indulging this really gross environment of haters, like I was saying. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, we got young old boy in the house. What's going on, homeboy? You didn't know I did a show with him? Yeah, I did. But like I said, I mean, I'm not naming him specifically because, again, I'm not even really talking about him, and I'm not trying to hate. All right, we got other people we're trying to judge. We're not judging him. I hope he figures his stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So that was basically the main message here, is that we are not supposed to be critiquing each other, judging each other in some public way where we're smacking them down. Now, when is it okay to do that? Well, you got to ask your priest about that, because there is a time and a place. I can tell you that. What I have learned in my few short years in the church is that basically the way that we look at it is like, if somebody's outside of the church, we pray for them, we love them. We help if God gives us the opportunity to help the person with a few short words, or a shoulder to cry on, or whatever, and the Holy Spirit gives you the words, then glory to God. But most of the time it's better to stay silent and pray. If it's somebody inside of the church who is making serious doctrinal errors, serious dogmatic errors, that's when you bust out the stick and you start hitting them with the stick, Inside the church versus outside the church, very different dynamic. With that being said, if my homeboy at my parish was, saying some serious blasphemy, heresy, something really wrong, I would probably approach him in private and be like, what are you doing? Maybe read this book, maybe, go read the saint, like, here's why it seems like you're a little off base, and I would really try to handle it with kid gloves and be as kind and loving as possible. If that didn't work, then that's when, obviously the priest, that's on him then, and the bishop to address that. And, knowing orthodoxy like that would be very quick to be raised, that issue, and it would be very quick to be addressed if you were lucky enough to have a parish that actually cares about the faith. But you don't, in that situation, go online, okay, or go out front of the church with a megaphone and say, hey, everybody, guess what? My homeboy's wrong. Let's all point and shame him, right? And this is what happens when we have the internet, is that anytime you see, I don't like that Andy swears. Okay, well, that's a valid critique, I guess, if he does a lot. I don't know if he does. I don't really watch a lot of his stuff, but or I don't like that Seraphim swears. Okay, that's a valid critique. Yeah, we shouldn't be swearing, right? So then come to me and talk to me about it privately, personally, right? Like, just like we would in real life. I've always said that this channel for me, and just speaking about myself, is like an extension of the fellowship at my church. It's not a green light or a hall pass for you to just judge or critique or put to the megaphone to your mouth and talk smack, right? Is that making sense? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's wrong, we can critique them in a way that is loving and that is striving towards correction and not striving towards harassment, embarrassment, humiliation, whatever. Now, me, I don't care. I deserve to be humiliated. I'm a piece of garbage, dude. Like, I humiliate myself plenty. I don't need anybody to humiliate me. But we're supposed to love each other. And certainly if you're in the church, like, we're brothers and sisters. And we really are supposed to love each other. I mean, come on now. So for any of y'all who see anybody, I don't care if it's Andy, me, whomever, doing something wrong, we all have Instagram pages or whatever. You know, you reach out like, hey Jerry, what you're doing something wrong. Like, I would love to be told that if what I do is wrong. You know, I would not take offense to it. I'd be like, okay, yeah, clear. If it's valid, like, man, I need to examine myself and see, you know, maybe there's some truth there. Critique them by trolling them. Yeah, by blowing up their inbox with memes, just thousands of them. Critique them by doxing them and sending Antifa to their house to let them know in person. God bless you, Jason. We all get swept away sometimes. Oh, y'all are having conversations in the chat. Well, it's really good to see you, young old boy, man. Good to see you. Good to see all you guys, dude. What do y'all talk about? I'm going to get in the chat here and see what we got going on. How many people can't finish their sentences now? Oh, you guys are talking about the jabby jab, dude. God help us, man. I'm not even going to get into politics tonight. I was thinking about doing a little radio stream at the end of this. I was thinking about playing some random radio show. If you guys are down for that, we could maybe do that because I've been wanting to do that a little bit. But now that we've finished telling you guys why we shouldn't judge people, let's get straight to hypocrisy. Let's get straight to judging. So this is just some random thing that came up on X the other day. I don't spend much time on X. I check it like once every week or so. I'll just pop on there, see what appears right in my feed, and then it's like, okay, cool, and then I get right off of it because I just never been a Twitter guy. And I don't follow any of these people. I don't know why this was recommended to me. I guess because the guy's Orthodox. I guess. But we have an account called the Goy Father, which kind of can tell you a little bit of what's going on here. And again, guys, I mean, this isn't the best look, you know, and you make your account the Goy Father. When you make your whole personality about the Jews, like whether you're pro-Zionism, anti, I don't know, it's just a little weird, man. But again, there I go judging again. So I'm sure the Goy Father's a good dude. He's not the one we're judging right now. He says, good promo, but it's me alone and not my ortho bros buddy. You're going to need to justify why you believe Christianity is a detriment to the white race, and I'll rebut. Then from there, if you prove you're not a low-tier LARPer, then we can discuss other topics in later spaces. So clearly this is like a debate challenge that was announced against an Orthodox Christian. Apparently an Orthodox Christian called the Goy Father, who I don't know. So if you guys know who he is, let me know. But the reason why I pulled this up is because this original video is so cringe, dude. And it's very clearly he is a LARPer, you know, because he's doing a Randy Savage voice and stuff. And apparently he's a Nazi, and he thinks that Christianity is like a Jewish lie against the white people or whatever. So I guess let's watch it.
Ooh, yeah, brother. I hear there's a bunch of Christ cucks out there that want to step in the swastika for swastika slam.
Already, dude. Already. He comes out with the Christ cucks, which, okay. Tip of the hat to you. I haven't heard that in 5 years, so awesome. And then, who want to step into swastikon? Imagine if your convention is called the swastikon. Oh boy, dude. Y'all, I hear there's some Christians out there, brother, trying to step into the swastika, and I'm gonna crush some skulls. Oh yeah.
This Monday, 9:30 Eastern, on JQ Radio.
On JQ Radio. Meet me behind the school at the flagpole at 3 o'clock, Christ
We're
cuck.
about to turn into the CQ Radio, the Christian question, brother. We've got Goy Father, him and his ortho bros that want to defend their Messiah who was circumcised on the 8th day.
All right. I haven't watched this whole thing, all right? So if he starts to blaspheme anymore, forgive me. But I guess we can finish this. Unless it gets really egregious.
Come into the ring and tell us that this religion is for our European folk. Bring it, brother. You better bring all the holy water and kippas that you got that your Catholic popes wear, all right? But we're going to be there.
You said the guy was an ortho bro. Now you're saying Catholic Pope. What is this, dude? I know. Mind blown that the Nazi doesn't know, his Christology, his theology. He doesn't have all his ducks in a row. Mind blown.
Big Tech, Airsick Media, Anti-Judaic, Stonewall, and many other Jew haters.
Dude, do we got to go down this rabbit hole? Is this what we should check out, dude? Can we bring the cringe streams back, but check out Nazi YouTube or Nazi X? I think that might be a good idea. We might have to do that.
Why are you saying Jew haters? We thought we were talking about Christianity. Well, we're going to tell you that Christianity is for Jews, made by Jews. For you, Goyim, stop being a Jew lover, and we'll see you at JQ Radio, 9:30 Eastern, brother. Oh, yeah! Bring it, bitch!
How awesome was that, dude? We'll see you at JQ Radio. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was, that's what Patriot Front, that's when the CIA had to close down Patriot Front, when the FBI had to stop dressing like patriots, they started JQ Radio. Can smell the fed through the internet, yeah. Dude, how crazy is that, man? That really does make me want to actually look into this sphere. All right? I'm gonna start tuning into JQ Radio. What is going on the internet, man? Yeah, Adam Greenberg's brother. Yeah, I can see that. Any Money says he's probably gonna have. He either has already had Adam Green on, or he will. Right? Is he still out there? I'm so out of the loop on the internet. I have no idea what's going on out there. Gypsy Crusader. That sounds really familiar, but I can't pinpoint that. Well, yeah, I'll give you guys a hall pass on judging that guy, because I think that might actually help him a little bit if he gets shamed, because you lost the plot a little bit there, brother. Christianity ain't for us European folk. You might want to rethink this identity you got. Pretty sure the European folk that are your brothers don't give a damn about you, and wouldn't lift a finger to help you, wouldn't pee on you if you were burning, as they said. Dressed up in Joker outfit, yelling slurs at randos. Oh man, watch Gypsy Crusader. Okay, is that an X thing? Is that a YouTube thing? Where should I pull that up? X, YouTube. I guess I'll look it up on X. Start off. I'll just see if there's some random thing. Maybe if there's nothing good to show you guys, I'll just keep it for later and look into it myself and then report back. Gypsy Crusader. Oh, okay. Hang on. I'll share the screen just so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. His real name is Paul something. All right. Joker. I see the Joker. Oh, okay. Yeah, dressed up like the Joker, screaming slurs. Okay. Yeah, I probably shouldn't play this on YouTube. Oh, good. He's on Omegle. That's a good sign. That's always a good sign. I gotta be careful actually on X, because I'm pretty sure they allow porn on here, so I don't want to accidentally just totally delete my channel on accident. So, okay, I'll look into that later. Thank you, Jethro. That's probably, yeah. Jethro says I wouldn't play it on here. Yeah. Yeah, I will definitely look back in that and report back if there's anything interesting or funny to show you. Is he in jail now? Oh, good gracious, dude. So today, guys, I was hanging out with my grandmother. Got a haircut. If you guys didn't know, I got to spend all day with my grandma. Did a little yard work for her and stuff, and got some new clothes. She took me to Target, got me a new sweater. Grandmas are awesome, man. I'm really blessed and lucky that my grandma's still alive. She's always, just been so great. So I had a really good day. What else? I had lunch with Father Andrew earlier this week. That was really awesome. We were talking about, he was telling me how much he loved Jay's Piers Morgan interview. So that was great. Jay did the Piers Morgan thing. That was hilarious. I saw Jim Bob and Patrick debated some guy, the God Engineer. I saw like a 30-minute clip of that. That was pretty funny. So a lot of people doing a lot of great stuff out there. And one channel that I've really been enjoying is obviously our friend Father Deacon Dr. Ananias. His videos have been so great lately. That's like one of the only channels I've been like consistently following the uploads. I usually catch them after they're done going live, but really been getting a lot of like value out of his work. So, you know, if you guys aren't familiar, aren't aware, if there's any of you guys who don't already subscribe to Patristic Faith, go and do that. And then Craig Truglia is doing really good stuff. He just made a video called, hang on, I got it pulled up on another tab. He was just posting about how a lot of people didn't share this video he did, but that it was doing really good. And I guess it was a response to like a Protestant type video or something. But Craig Truglia is this guy who's on the channel Orthodox Christian Theology, and he made a video called Hidden History of Early Christian Art. So go and check that video out if you haven't seen that yet. It's all about like iconography and whatnot. Yeah, he's great, and my godfather is super like into his stuff. I had never like gone deep on Truglia's channel, but I have watched like quite a few videos of it, and it's always, you know, really quality, scholastic type, like in depth. You know, he comes with receipts, you know, sources, all that stuff. So really good stuff. They passed away before you were born. What? Who are we talking about? Who passed away? Oh, grandparents? Oh, well, I'm sorry, guys. That sucks. Lord have mercy. All right, so that's pretty much all the judging that I had to do for anybody, and that was pretty much the point that I had to make. And so we can do the radio thing now. I'm down to listen to a radio show. Now I haven't pre-selected any of it. I mean I did. I have one pulled up, but it's not like I didn't put much effort into it. It's one that I listened to not too long ago. I saw it in my history. I was like, okay, that's a good one, and we'll watch it. So it's not like thematic or anything. It's not like you know, topical. Okay, it's just a fun little radio show from the 1970s. So we gonna chill. We gonna kick back and whittle some. You know what I'm saying? And thank you guys so much for hanging out on the stream, for chilling with us. I'm trying not to e-bag too hard today because I gotta go back to work on the 14th, and so it's gonna be a while since I get my next paycheck and my winter income, which I had, you know, I planned out this winter. This winter was not nearly as bad as last winter. Last winter was brutal, dude. I didn't really plan for it, and so I was streaming like every other day because it's just out of necessity, like desperate. And I planned out this winter pretty good to where I wasn't like in such a bind that I was like, you know, shaking my tin can on the internet like all day, every day, like please, for the love of God. But what I expected to last until work started ended 2 weeks early. So it kind of screwed me up a little bit. So please forgive all my e-begging and stuff. So that's why I haven't mentioned the super chats. But a few of y'all sent in super chats anyway, so I want to mention those before we get into the radio show. $5 from Jason Scholl. Thank you, Jason. Really appreciate you, brother. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Jason, you've been a long time homie, and he's always chipping in freaking $5, and I'm really, really grateful and humbled. Thank you so much. For that goodie fund, from William. Thank you so much, William. I really appreciate you. He sent in $25. Thank you, bro. Thank you. And Stephen Mulraney. Thank you, bro. $10 to hand out cigarettes at the playground. I will do that. Well, it's a little late. They're all at home. I'll wait Monday morning, bright and early. I'll be right out there doing that. Thank you guys so much. And all right, let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to this. This episode of CBS Radio Mystery Theater is called The Key to Murder. And I don't remember much about it other than I thought it was an enjoyable radio show. And there were some funny moments. So let's get after it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Please like and share and pray for each other.
Riddles? Of course you do. Give
Hey!
me a good riddle that's...
I started it too late. Hang on.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Do you like riddles? Of course you do. Give me a good riddle that seems to defy solution, and I'll settle down happily to unravel it like a cat with a ball of twine. And like the cat, I usually succeed in making a tangled mess of it. But untangling a mystery, finding the answer to the riddle is fun. Unless, of course, you happen to be involved in it personally, and your life depends on finding a fast solution, like Rachel James. Our mystery drama, Key to Murder, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Mercedes McCambridge. I might as well come right out and say it. I'm no Sherlock Holmes. Are you? Well, whether you are or not, here's your chance to match wits with Police Lieutenant Michael Forbes. Mike to you. Luckily, you have nothing to lose. Mike had everything to lose. The life of the woman he had come to love. The story begins in a certain old 4-story brownstone in a certain large city on a certain cold and wintry day. In the rather stuffy Victorian living room, Rachel James and her closest friend, Minerva Hall, are having a much-needed cup of tea.
Another cup, Rachel?
Oh, I guess so, Minerva. Might as well enjoy it while I can still afford it.
Oh, come on now. Things aren't that bad. Just because 2 of your roomers packed up and left.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Parker's making noises about doing the same thing. I don't know that I want to go on living in a boarding house where there's been a suicide. That's what she told me this morning.
It's always darkest before the dawn, Rachel, and
Minerva, please. This is no time for one of your life can be beautiful proverbs. I'm in a real blockbuster of a bind. You know as well as I do that I've gone through an awful lot since I inherited this rooming house from Aunt Hattie.
I know it hasn't been easy for you.
Easy? What with inflation and taxes and mortgage payments and skyrocketing fuel bills and I don't know what all, I've just barely managed to keep my head above water. And now...
Dude, not to keep stopping, but she mentioned inflation. One of these radio shows I was listening to the other day, they included all of the advertisements in between like the commercial breaks, and they had the news bulletins playing. That was really cool to listen to. They were talking about, you know, Richard Nixon and Henry Kissinger and Israel and all this stuff, but from like, you know, way back, it was so cool to listen to. So one more reason, if you guys don't already watch these kinds of shows, one reason to watch them, because the advertisements are awesome, and especially when they play the newsreels.
Oh, with 2 boarders gone, 3 rooms empty, counting poor Mr. Carson, I don't know how I'll make ends meet. I just don't know.
One thing you can do is stop worrying. We'll get by somehow. If worse comes to worse, you can always sell the place. And I've got my job at Gibbon Real Estate. Don't look at me like that, Rachel. After all, I am your oldest and closest friend.
Oh, my dear Minerva, let's face facts. You just get by as it is on what they pay you as a clerk. And there's... Well, I don't like to mention...
I know. My mother. If it weren't for you footing the bills, I'd never be able to keep her in that sanitarium in Cleveland.
Well, that's another problem to worry about. What happens to her if I go broke?
Well, she is really not your responsibility.
Oh, but she is. She's your mother. I couldn't let anything happen to her any more than I could let anything happen to you. There's somebody at the door.
Maybe someone who wants to rent a room.
Yes.
Miss James?
Yes.
Lieutenant Mike Forbes, homicide?
Lieutenant, homicide? You mean the police?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, won't you come in? It's a terribly cold day, isn't it?
Well, cold and windy. I walked over from the precinct station. It was just a couple of blocks. The wind darn near blew this pipe of mine right out of my mouth.
I see you held on to it.
Oh, you object to pipe smoking, Miss James? I mean, if you do...
Oh, no, that's, quite all right. Well, now...
No, come in, officer. Sit in my living room and smoke your pipe. This is 1970, after all.
Lieutenant, I have one or two rooms I think you might like. There's one on the 4th floor that's very spacious. It overlooks the garden in the back. It's very quiet.
Miss James, I'm not here to rent a room. I'm investigating the death of Harold Carson.
Oh. Will you come into the living room, then? Minerva, this is Lieutenant Forbes of the police. My friend, Miss Minerva Hall.
How do you do?
I do.
Won't you sit down, Lieutenant?
Oh, thank you.
Well, now. You say you're investigating poor Mr. Carson's suicide.
Yes, ma'am. The fact of the matter is, it wasn't suicide.
Not suicide.
No, ma'am. Harold Carson was murdered.
Murdered? Oh, but that's not possible.
Hmm? Why isn't it?
Well, you know how he was found, don't you? I mean, don't the police make out reports and things?
Oh, I read the dope sheet all right.
Well, then you know he was found on the floor with his head right next to the gas heater and all the jets turned on full.
Yeah, I know, but...
Minerva here and I smelled the gas, and we traced it to Mr. Carson's room, and we called to him. But he didn't answer, and then we tried to open the door. But it was locked on the inside. So Min and I had to break it in. And thank heaven she was here, because I'd never have been able to do it alone.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And there he was, the poor man. He was dead. A suicide.
Ma'am, I hate to disagree with you, but Mr. Carson was murdered. It looked like suicide, yes, but it was meant to look like suicide. But the autopsy report from the medical examiner's office states that the old man was first rendered unconscious by a blow to the head, and that death by asphyxiation, gas, followed.
Someone knocked him out and then turned on the gas?
Yes.
But he couldn't have been murdered. If he was, what happened to the murderer?
What do you mean?
Well, how did he get out of the room? The windows and door were locked on the inside.
People shoot themselves in the back of the head with a shotgun twice all the time.
No, that couldn't be.
Lieutenant, the key was in the door lock on the inside. This is an old brownstone with old doors, the kind that have those big keys, you know. And there's only one key to each room.
You don't have duplicates?
No, and even if I or someone did have a duplicate, you can't unlock the door from the outside without pushing the other key out of the lock. We'd have found it on the floor, but not in the lock.
Mm-hmm. Well, interesting. Very.
Oh, that match. Put it out.
Just relighting.
No, put out the match. I smell gas. Or I think I do.
Oh, not again. Not again.
You're right. I smell it now.
It seems to be coming from... Yes, it is. It's from upstairs.
All right, here. I'll go first.
Oh, if it's another...
It isn't. It can't be. Lightning never strikes twice in the same...
Oh, man.
There goes the neighborhood.
Strong, very strong here on the 3rd floor. Yeah, it's coming from this room.
Mrs. Parker!
Open up. Open up in there.
Break it in. Break it in.
Here.
Mrs. Parker! Oh, Mrs. Parker!
No. Oh, no.
Open the window.
Let me. Locked from the inside. Door locked on the inside, too. Key in the lock.
Mrs. Parker. Oh, let's get her to the window. Fresh air.
No. Don't bother. She's dead.
But maybe if we can get some air into her lungs.
It won't cure a broken neck.
Broken?
You can see the way it's twisted, Miss Hall. It's broken, all right.
Then she's been murdered, too.
Yes, Miss James. She's been murdered, too.
Hello? Oh, yes. Just a minute. It's for you, Lieutenant.
Oh, thank you, Miss James. You? Well, I've questioned all but one boarder, Inspector Morris. A guy named Whitman.
Oh, snap. Now that I'm seeing Jethro commenting, I know, Jethro, you probably don't want me to do this, but Jethro's been streaming Batman games, dude, and it's been really fun to hang out for a little bit and get a look at the Arkham Asylum games, which I freaking really dig. So, You know, all I'm saying, I know you're probably gonna be mad at me for shouting that out, but I'm just saying, you know, if you guys want to come hang with us, it's always fun.
No. I'll stick here. Just 5 o'clock, and Miss James says he gets home promptly at 5 every day. Yeah, well, okay. I'll see you in your office. You look pretty beat, Miss James. Why don't you go to lie down for a while?
No, it isn't rest I need, Lieutenant. It's just a little peace of mind.
Yeah,
You're looking pretty tired, Miss James. Why don't we go lie down and I'll smoke my pipe?
I guess so. 2 murders in your house in less than 36 hours.
And a wrecked livelihood. 2 more boarders, after you questioned them, told me that they were moving out. And nobody is going to move in. You can be sure of that.
Things kind of rough, huh?
Oh, you don't know the half of it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen your husband around. You a widow, maybe?
I'm divorced.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you needn't be. He was a drunk. I put up with that for years. I would have gone on, I guess, except that he started to cheat on me. There was another woman. I never found out who she was, but I...
Oh, I guess this is Whitman, huh?
Yes, it is. Mr. Whitman, will you come in here, please?
If it's about the rent, Mrs. James, I didn't know anybody else was here.
No, it's not about the rent, Mr. Whitman. This is Lieutenant Forbes of Homicide. And according to him, Mr. Carson didn't commit suicide. He was murdered. And then just a couple of hours ago...
Let me handle this, Miss James. Sit down, Mr. Whitman. John C. Whitman, right?
Yeah, but what happened a couple of hours ago?
Now ask the question, sir.
Well, you don't understand. I'm a newspaper reporter, Daily Globe. Well, not exactly. I want to be a reporter, and I need a break, you know. I keep looking for a break, and if there's been another suicide here, wait, you said murder.
There's been another death, yes. Miss James has filled me in on you pretty much, so just answer me a couple of questions now, huh?
Sure.
You work at the Daily Globe, 8 to 4:30, right?
That's right, 8-hour day, half-hour for lunch.
Yeah. Now, Miss James tells me you always leave promptly at 7:30 in the morning, but today you didn't leave until 1 in the afternoon.
Well, I'll sort off my feed. I called in sick.
Yeah, on the day Mr. Carson met his death, on that day you called in sick too, didn't you?
Well, yeah. What are you getting at, Lieutenant?
Well, just routine questions, Mr. Whitman. How well do you know Mrs. Parker?
Mrs. Parker? Did something happen to her? Is that what this is all about?
How well did you know her?
Oh, just to say hello to, that's all.
How well did you know Mr. Carson?
Same. Wish I'd known him better. If I'd known him better, I might have written a story my editor would have printed. But he didn't. Into the scrap basket. Says it wasn't good enough.
Mr. Whitman wrote an account of what happened the other day.
Thank you, Miss James. I assumed as much.
You're welcome, Lieutenant Forbes.
Well, thanks, Mr. Whitman.
Yeah, now, about Mrs. Parker. What happened? I could get my teeth into one good story. A scoop, you know? Listen, the city editor would make me a reporter, maybe. So, Mrs. Parker, what happened?
Mrs. James will tell you, or you can read it in the evening edition.
Aw, what a jerk. So, as per usual, guys, if you guys want to guess what happens, whoever gets closest gets them 5 gold stars. If you want to guess who the killer is or how this turns out, feel free. And whoever gets it closest gets 5 big gold sparkly stars.
One suspect, Lieutenant. Is that all?
Yes, Inspector. Whitman. 32 years old. Been in newspaper work since he graduated from journalism school. Dying to be a reporter and hasn't made it in all these years. He's hot for a scoop. The way it struck me, he could maybe be making his own scoop.
Well, if he made this one, how come he didn't cash in on it? You checked his city editor. He told you Whitman never said a word about Mrs. Parker's murder.
Yep.
Yeah, well, have a look at this dope sheet.
Harold Carson withdrew his life savings from the bank $4,300 the day before he was murdered.
Ah, read on, Lieutenant.
Mrs. Parker withdrew her life savings yesterday.
And not a dollar of that money, cold cash, was found in Carson's room or Parker's. You find out who's clever enough to pull this locked door trick, who was clever enough to get Carson and Parker to withdraw every cent they had in the world, and you'll have your murderer. In fact, I may have your murderer for you.
I give...
Rachel James. Mrs. Rachel James.
No, not her. Listen, Inspector, she's one of the nicest women I've ever met.
She's also a convicted felon, Lieutenant.
What?
Back in '65, she served 6 months for theft.
Oh, snap! Not Mrs. James.
The look on Lieutenant Mike Forbes' face reveals not only shock, but something else. I don't know what it is myself. Maybe... Well, no. It couldn't be that. He's only known Rachel James a few hours at most. And I've never...
But she's so nice, she lets him smoke his pipe. That she can't be Rachel James. No.
Much in love at first sight. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out when I return for Act 2. How does a murderer, or anyone else if it comes to that, get out of a room when all exits, windows and doors, have been locked from inside? Impossible? No. After all, whoever murdered old Harold Carson and Mrs. Parker and tried to make their deaths look like suicide must have accomplished what only seems impossible. Up to this point, I've been unable to figure it out, and perhaps you have too. So let's join Lieutenant Mike Forbes in the living room of that old 4-story brownstone as he tries getting to the bottom of things.
Lieutenant, are you accusing me of murdering Mr. Carson and Mrs. Parker?
No, Mrs. James.
Then why did you come here to ask her if she'd ever been convicted of theft?
Now, Miss Hall, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk with Mrs. James alone.
I do mind. Rachel's my friend, my inseparable friend. Whatever you have to say, you can say in front of me.
Do as he says, Min. I'll be all right.
Well, if you need me, I won't be far off.
If you need me, I'll have my ear pressed up against the door listening and everything you're saying.
Miss James, I'm sorry if I'm causing you an embarrassment, but 2 murders have been committed in this house, and I've got to get at the truth of things.
I'm ruined, Lieutenant.
That bad?
It couldn't be worse. I'm afraid I'm going to have to sell, whether I want to or not.
Well, at least you'd get a good price. Land values in this area are high. Going up, too, since they built that office complex and shopping mall over on 8th. Yeah, but, look, I've got to ask you these questions, Miss James, and it'll be in your best interest to answer them. Now then, you did serve a 6-month sentence for theft, didn't you?
Yes. And I suppose that makes me a murder suspect right there.
Oh, no. I just have to check out everybody's all. Now, about that theft. Were you guilty?
No.
Was Miss Hall?
No. But it could have looked as if she was. And... Oh. You know. You've known all along.
Well, like I said, I've been checking.
Well, if you knew, why did you bother to ask?
To see how you'd react. You reacted fine.
Well, thank you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Getting back to the theft, your friend, Miss Hall, well, her boss had given her $900 in cash to put in the bank. Is that right? Well, never mind. I know it's right. You came to the office to go to lunch with her and waited for her at her desk while she was in the ladies' room. When she came back, she opened her desk drawer to get the envelope with the money in it, and it was gone. Now, you just told me you weren't guilty. If that's so, why'd you plead guilty? Well, why?
To protect me, Lieutenant. Yes, I've been listening outside the door just in case you got too rough with Rachel.
Oh, Min.
You might as well know, Lieutenant. You probably know anyway. I stole that money.
Min!
No, it's got to come out now. My mother came down ill, very ill, and I needed money. When my boss gave me that $900, well, the temptation was too big for me. It was a stupid thing to do, especially since I was sure to be suspected, as I was. But that's when this wonderful woman here stepped forward and said that she'd done it.
Well, you had to be with your mother. She needed you. And I was divorced and living alone.
Oh, you sacrificed yourself for me, Rachel. And I'll never forget it. Someday I'll get the chance to repay you.
Yeah, well, I'll move along now. And thank you for being so frank and open with me about the theft of that money.
You knew anyway.
No, Miss Hall. I didn't know.
Ha ha ha. She just gave herself up. Yo, what's going on, Eric Coda? He says it's his first time here. Well, you came in at a very weird time for a first-time viewer. The main stream that we were doing today, referring to the title of the video, we already finished with that. And lately, when we're finished up with the main subject of the day, I like to do like old-time radio show watch-alongs. So if you came here for the actual topic of the video, then you can rewind and hit that up. But welcome. And I did just start a poll on YouTube about who killed all the people. So you guys can vote that way too. But welcome.
Then as I see it, Lieutenant, you've got 3 suspects now.
3, Inspector?
Jack Whitman, Minerva Hall, Rachel James.
Rachel, Miss James, you can eliminate her. She didn't do it.
Well, you seem awfully sure of that. What makes you so sure?
Why, I just can't imagine her killing anyone. No, she's a very decent sort. Generous, sympathetic. Well, anyhow, that's the picture I get from the boarders I talk to and my own observation.
Attractive to whom?
Meaning what, Inspector?
Well, don't let any interest you may be developing in Rachel James put blinders on you. Now, about this Miss Hall, this close friend of Mrs. James, you say she admitted stealing that $900 and letting Mrs. James take the rap for her?
Yeah, but she's no common thief, Inspector. No, it's the Whitman guy who interests me. I talked to his editor at the Daily Globe. Seems Whitman has been knocking himself out to get to be a reporter for years, but just hasn't got what it takes. He fools himself into thinking all he needs is a break.
And you figure maybe he's making his own breaks with these murders.
That could be.
The more I think about it, Lieutenant, the more it seems to me cracking this case depends on finding the answer to those locked rooms.
I couldn't agree more. I checked the doors and the windows. They're solid. No gimmicks. You'll laugh, but I even checked for secret panels. Yeah, well, it's an old brownstone, you know. You never know what you might find, but no dice.
Well, keep after it. There's an answer. Find it.
Yeah. I got a feeling I better find it fast.
Why?
I don't know. Just one of those feelings you get. Feeling that tells me there could be another murder.
Rachel, this is Mr. Gibbon. Arthur Gibbon, my boss. Mr. Gibbon, Rachel James.
It's a pleasure, Miss James.
Oh, won't you sit down, Mr. Gibbon?
Thank you. Well, Miss Hall has told me of your situation here. Says that you talked to her about selling your house, and as I understand it, 2 murders have been committed in this house. Most of your boarders have moved out because of them, and, well, the house has gotten itself a bad name. That's unfortunate. It's most unfortunate. Brings its value down, you know.
Yes, I guess so.
Tell me, Miss James, you any idea what your house is worth?
Well, no, not really. I was thinking you might make me an offer.
Well, yes, I could. Under the circumstances, the best I can do is, the very best would be $50,000.
Oh, you're not serious, Mr. Gibbon.
I'm afraid I am.
But the land alone is worth more than that. Much more.
Yes, but the bad name...
Mr. Gibbon, the house has a bad name so far as renting rooms to boarders is concerned. But if you are the businessman Minerva's always told me you are, you wouldn't be buying the house. You'd be buying the land to tear the house down and put up an office building or something.
Well, yes, that's true enough. But, well, the land isn't as valuable as I gather you think it is. And as I understand it, you have no option but to sell.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Gibbon, but your offer is much too low. I guess the thing for me to do is to, get bids or whatever they're called on the property and, take the highest.
It's your house, your land. You can do as you wish. But I ought to tell you, you're making a mistake. As I said, land values are down. So if you change your mind, Mrs. James, you let me know, huh? My offer will still stand. No. That's all right, Minerva. I'll see myself out. Oh, you won't forget about the deeds.
What deeds?
Yeah, the ones I want to work on tonight.
Oh, yeah, those, yes.
I'll see you in the office then at 7.
At 7. I'll be there.
Goodbye, Miss James.
I could be wrong, Rachel, but I don't know. $50,000 seems like a good offer to me.
No, you could be right. But I'll shop around.
What a snake!
No.
There's no other way, man.
Then there's no other way, Art, and the hell with it.
No. Now, you listen to me, baby.
Oh, no, Art, no. I've gone as far as I'm going to go.
This is no time to chicken out.
I never bargained for killing Rachel.
I didn't either.
All right. Who voted for men? I see we got one vote for men. Whoever voted for men, you got the 5 stars. Announce yourselves.
I don't know if she isn't the naive pushover you told me she was.
Oh, it's that police Lieutenant Forbes.
What do you mean?
Oh, there's a change in Rachel. A subtle change. I noticed it right after she met Forbes.
Well, I still don't get what you...
Neither do I. All I know is there's a man in her life again. For the first time in years.
Well, all right. So there's a change in her. There's $1 million
No,
riding
I
on it.
cannot kill Rachel. Carson and Parker, yes, they meant nothing to me. Nothing. I even conned them into taking their life savings out of the bank. Suckers. But to kill Rachel... No, Art, no, I can't do it.
You'll do it. You've got to.
I won't.
You were willing enough to wreck her boarding house business. Willing enough so I could move in, grab that property for 10 cents on the dollar.
Taking her money is one thing. Taking her life... No, Art, no. I guess there's some little spark of decency left in me.
Decency? You can talk about decency? Conning her all these years, sucking her dry like those monthly handouts to keep your dear mama in the sanitarium? Your dear mama who died years ago?
Well, money's one thing.
Money's everything. Without it, you might just as well be dead. Now you listen.
Yeah.
Set this whole
Kill your best friend for money and stuff.
thing up. I didn't explain the locked door trick and everything.
A locked door trick that didn't work. The cops found out it was murder, not suicide.
Thanks to you, not me. If you'd suffocated Carson and Parker like I told you...
I couldn't do it. It was just It was too horrible that way.
Okay. So you bashed one on the skull and broke the neck of the other?
Accidentally.
Accidentally. Deliberately. You did it. And now you do it to Rachel James? I don't care either. Do it.
No. What are you doing?
Calling the police.
What for?
To tip them off on how Carson was murdered. And Parker.
No.
You rat!
I am.
But not as involved. In fact, I'm not involved at all, men. I've seen to that.
Give me that phone. Filthy swine.
Tonight, men. Killer. Tonight.
Well, a spark of decency may still flicker in Minerva Hall's soul, but clearly it's been thoroughly quenched by Mr. Arthur Gibbons. Or has it? We'll see. We'll also see how someone can walk out of a room locked on the inside when I return for Act 3. A strange and baffling thing, human emotion. Even the most skilled psychiatrists, I'm told, have trouble unraveling the tangled skeins of motivation which drive us to do one thing or another. I'm thinking of Minerva Hall, who, though she murdered Mr. Carson and Mrs. Parker, is repelled by the prospect of murdering Rachel James. Makes sense, I guess. After all, they've had a close relationship for years. And as for Rachel, sensing that Mike Forbes is something to lean on, somebody who can give her some protection, perhaps even shield her against a world she's finding it more and more difficult to cope with, well, let's see.
Sit down, Lieutenant. Cup of tea.
No, thanks, Miss James.
It's a cold day. It's bitter cold. I thought you might like something to warm you up.
Well, I could use something.
You mean something stronger than tea? But you're on duty.
Well, not officially. Not officially, I'm not.
Well, scotch?
Yeah.
Bourbon, then.
Rye, actually.
Oh, dear, I don't think Well, I might. Look.
She's a keeper.
Lieutenant, if you're not on duty officially, why are you here?
Oh, that, two reasons. One is your friend's mother.
Minerva, her mother?
Yeah. Is it a fact you've been helping to support Miss Hall's mother in a sanitarium in Cleveland?
Oh, yes. But how did you know?
Oh, there's lots of ways. Funny thing about police work. You start digging into one thing and you come up with 10 other things.
Oh, here you are.
Oh, thank you.
And, if you'd like to smoke your pipe.
Oh, well, thanks. Tell you the truth, I bought a new one.
A new pipe?
Well, the old one, I guess it was getting kind of rank. Try a new kind of tobacco, too. So if you really don't mind...
No. Well, you go right ahead. Oh, about Min's mother. Money has always been tight with Min, and I've just helped out where I could, that's all.
Mm-hmm. I see. What is it you like about Miss Hall so much? What makes her such a good friend?
Well, that's a funny question, Lieutenant. I'd do anything for Min, and she'd do anything for me. It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
You said you had another reason for coming to see me.
Yes.
What is it? Well?
You. Now, wait a minute. Don't get me wrong, Miss James. Rachel. I don't know how to put this exactly, but Well, it's like this. Oh, hang it all, Rachel. I like you.
Well,
Ah, dang it, Rachel. Would you go to the prom with me? Oh, jeez, I said it.
I like you too, Lieutenant.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, women, they scare me. Always have. But not you, though.
Mm-hmm.
You, well, you're... You know what I mean?
I think I do, yes. Come in. Oh, Minerva.
Feeling better?
Oh, sure. I just thought I'd lie down for a while.
Brought you a cup of broth. Good and hot.
Oh, thank you. That's very thoughtful of you. This bedroom of mine always has been chilly, even with the gas heater going.
Yeah, so here. This'll warm you up.
Mm-hmm.
So you did the town with Lieutenant Forbes last night, did you?
Uh-huh. It was a marvelous time. Just to be taken out again would have been fun, but Mike, he's a wonderful man, Min.
You better be careful. You know what they say. Marry in haste, repent in leave.
Oh, Min, who said anything about marriage?
Your eyes and that look on your face, that's what says...
Oh, nonsense. There's no thought of marriage at all. We hardly know each other. Oh, I have sleepier than I thought. I better start waking up. I have an appointment at Metropolitan Realty at 11 this morning.
About the house and land? Oh, drink that broth while it's hot.
Yeah. And I've got appointments at a couple of other real estate firms this afternoon, too. It's going to be able to get those bids I mentioned, baby.
You won't improve on the offer Mr. Gibbons made, Rachel.
Well, maybe not. Oh, good heavens. I can't be this sleepy.
Yes. Yes, Rachel, you can.
Oh, nonsense.
Minerva, you double-crossing fink. How dare you?
I didn't get much sleep, that's for sure, but... Oh, what in the world?
Well, you dropped your cup and saucer.
Oh, I don't understand that. How could I...
You're drugged, Rachel.
Huh?
Sleeping pills in your broth. Enough to knock you out fast.
Sleeping pills. Min, what is this?
I don't want to do this, Rachel, but I got no choice.
No choice?
It's your neck or mine. It was Art's idea. Art Gibbons. We're lovers, Rachel. Well, we were.
Oh,
and
Min, how could you do this? How could...
Rachel. Rachel. Goodbye, Rachel.
And that's why you never trust a woman named Minerva. That's what my grandpappy always said.
Coming. Oh, Lieutenant Forbes.
Miss Hall? Miss James in?
Oh, yes, but she's lying down. I hear you two painted the town together last night, huh?
Oh, I wouldn't say painted exactly. Enjoyed ourselves, though. Oh, Mr. Whitman, isn't it?
Yeah, how are you, Lieutenant?
Okay. Yeah, it's quite a bundle of laundry you got there.
Yeah, always go out and pick it up Saturday morning. My day off. Well, see ya.
I'll tell Mrs. James you dropped by, Lieutenant.
Oh, well, maybe she'll be up before I go. I really dropped by to see you, Miss Hall.
Me? About what?
No, one or two things. Your mother, for one.
My mother?
Yes. According to my information, Rachel's been supporting her in that Cleveland sanitarium for years, giving you a monthly check for just that purpose.
Oh, what of it?
I checked with the sanitarium. They told me your mother died 4 years ago.
Gas!
What?
I smell gas up here. Lieutenant, Miss Hall.
Hey, let's get up there.
It's coming from Mrs. James' room. Mrs. James' room right there.
Oh, no. It's locked. Rachel?
get that window open.
Yeah, okay.
Rachel!
Window's stuck.
Break it, fast!
Lieutenant...
No. Thank God, no. We got here in time. Get it to the window. Now, breathe, Rachel. And you, Miss Hall. Minerva, stay right where you are.
Oh, I'm just going down the
Stay where you are. You're under arrest for murder.
Murder? Arrest? What are you talking about?
You know damn well what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're out of your mind. You're not making any sense. We find Rachel on the floor by the gas heater, the door locked on the inside.
Yeah, Lieutenant, the key is in the lock.
And you accuse me of murder?
Murder one. And I'll make it stick, Miss Hall. Oh, I take my hat off to you, Rachel. You sure know how to broil a steak.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mike. I will never understand how Min could have done to me what she did.
Well, it's easy enough to understand. For a cop it is, anyhow. I meet all kinds. Generous, greedy, those you can trust, those you can't. What makes some one way and some another, well, that I will never understand. People, you can't figure them out.
You figured out the mystery of the locked rooms fast enough.
Oh, that didn't take much. If Minerva had been smart, she'd have gotten away with it. I mean, if she'd used sleeping pills on Carson and Mrs. Parker the way she did on you, then maybe I'd have bought the suicide bit. But Carson and Mrs. Parker were obviously murdered. So the murderer couldn't have gotten out of their rooms, leaving them locked on the inside.
It's impossible, of course.
So I had to keep looking for the possible. In other words, how did the murderer make it look as if each door had been locked on the inside, when actually the murderer had left the room and locked the door from the outside?
And the answer, when you found it, was so simple.
Yep.
And once you found it, you knew that the murderer had to be Minerva.
Had to be. The murderer had to be present when those doors were broken in. You and she broke into Carson's room. And she was there when the three of us, her, you, me, broke into Mrs. Parker's.
And all Min did was to take advantage of the confusion.
And slip the key, which, of course, she kept with her, into the lock on the inside. As simple as that.
Well, you may call it simple. But I think it was a marvelous piece of deduction, for which you deserve more steak and potatoes.
Oh, no, I couldn't. I'm full up. I would like to smoke my pipe, though. That's okay with you?
You better know that it is. And it always will be. Mike.
Aww.
As simple as that. The murderer locked the door on the outside, and then, breaking in later, simply slipped the key into the lock on the inside. Simple? I think it's ingenious. I would never have thought of it. Would you? I'll be back shortly. You'll be glad to know that Mike and Rachel are married now, with two nice kids. And they live in Rachel's brownstone house. Sentimental attachment, I guess. Mike's made captain. And oh yes, he's got a collection of pipes now. 8 beauties. Each bought on the anniversary of the day he saved Rachel's life. Bought by Rachel. Our cast included Mercedes McCambridge, Mary Jane Higby, Robert Dryden, and Robert Maxwell. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
All right. See, that one was pretty good, but while we were watching it, I thought of like a bunch of other ones that were better. So next time, I know exactly which ones we're going to play next time. Yeah, I thought that one was kind of fun. And yeah, Jason broiled steak. That's in like I've seen that in a few of the Alfred Hitchcock episodes where they're talking about broiling their steak. I don't know why that was such a common way of cooking steak back in the day, but apparently that was all the rage, all the rage. So we don't know who got the 5 stars. Somebody voted for Minerva. So you get the 5 stars. And what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, guys, if you want to support the channel, I do have a mother up in Cleveland who's very sick. So make sure all super chats, I'll make sure they all go to her. She's dealing with some very serious health issues. She's up in Cleveland. Just don't ask too many questions, and certainly don't call the hospital. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for chilling. Late night chill stream, radio drama. Got it in there at the end. And we'll be doing another radio show soon because, like I said, I actually have 2 episodes in my mind that I definitely want to share with y'all. Hopefully it was good, but thank you all, sincerely. And thank you to all you guys who are, who have supported the channel and just for hanging out. Like I said, go support our homies. Go support all the friendos that are out there doing this kind of stuff. And until next time, we'll let you walk signing off. God bless you guys. I hope y'all can make it into liturgy tomorrow morning. And until next time, pleasant dreams. Dun dun.